So we thought that we'll try to do that onto the plate and make a dish that involves that, which is the chicken represented as an egg, then the hay, and also the greens, all the greens. In this case, the guests are also doing the dish themselves. You will see they get a plate where there's hay on, and then next to that there's a small plate of all the different herbs and greens, and there we have a hay-infused oil, there's a timer, there's the egg, and everything is timed. So you take this very hot pan, you put it in front of the guest, and the hay underneath is wet. So the hot pan releases all these aromas from the hay. Everywhere it smells like hay. You put hay oil onto the pan. Look at the egg, how fresh it is. You can see it on the yolk. And then what happens is that the guests start cooking the dish. The timer gets put on. Once the timer's gone on, 2 minutes, then they're told, okay, start cooking your bitter greens. Add your sauce to the dish of all these greens. This is a type of wild garlic. It's called ramson. And then you sprinkle with all the greens that the chicken goes around and lives in and eats at. So there's a circle there somehow finished. And another perfect example of how you or we look at inspiration from very, very close. We don't need to search out very far, in fact, sometimes once you start opening your eyes to things. Let's see another one. This is called The Sea. It's a stupid title. It's just because I didn't know what else to call it. We were a bit in a hurry when we were putting the names on these. Well, there you go, The Sea. And look at all the seaweed here at the bottom. This is a great seaweeds like this that flushes in. It's great for these plants here. See all the seaweed in the bottom there? There's actually sand, but it's difficult to see because of all the seaweed. Different plants that grows on the sand. This is one of these plants that's rich in C vitamin that prevents you from getting scurvy. And the Vikings used to eat a lot of when they went on these crusades to forage and murder and rape. Now we just eat them for their deliciousness. All these beach plants. The one with the little pink flower, purple flower, is a beach pea. It grows in sand and tastes extraordinary pea with a salinity to it. We take beach rocks and beach water and freeze it, and put all these beach plants in. There's, for instance, also beach mustard there, which really tastes like mustard. Sweet shrimps that are creamy and delicious. We add a very simple vinaigrette on a low-fat cream with dill oil. And then this is young seasoned urchin, where they're not completely developed inside. And we take all the juice from within and the small developed urchins, and we freeze it and grate it. That's an incorporation of all the things, the elements that's right there next to each other. Let's go back and take the first two. This one, another good example of can you stop it here? Can you go back a bit? If you can. Just to the beginning. If possible. Yeah. Exactly, I'll tell you when to stop. Oh, you can start it. Sorry, yeah. Stop there. So, you see the asparagus field. You see there's an asparagus right there. And look behind the asparagus field. You see that green branch there? That's spruce. This asparagus field where they are, they're covered in spruce. Or they're surrounded by spruce. And one thing that's very interesting, in fact, is that not a lot of people know, or chefs know, that white asparagus grow in soil. People think it's just a white asparagus, it's just, grow. Let's start again. I want you to notice this, because this is how this dish started. We went there, we took the asparagus, and then we looked around, and it was spring. the spruce is shooting. And we decided, well, let's go home and cook spruce and asparagus together. That became the inspiration for the dish. So what we do is that we take the green asparagus and we grill them. While they're hot and grilled, we juice them. This results in one of the most delicious sauces I know, and it's completely vegetarian. There's no meat to it, but the grilling of it just transforms it. So we take the white asparagus and we tie them around the branch, one by one, and then we grill that as well. What happens is that the essential oils and the resins of these spruce, they infuses into the asparagus, which for me is perfect with this very, very sweet and juicy vegetable. As well, the spruce are shooting, so we pick the small tips. I saw this first time, when in the forest, I saw all the animals eating these as candy. So I tasted it myself. You see the small tips are there in the front. They're so delicious and tender and just utterly great to eat. The asparagus sauce and then just a little bit of whipped cream. And that again for me is a perfect example of it's right there. The inspiration is right there next to each other. You just have to open your eyes and see it. You don't have to search that far. Let's see the last one. This one is steamed oyster. I've chosen these 5 dishes. They're not in the book. These are new dishes. And I've also chosen to kind of make the example of this way of thinking. Of course, that's not what we do always, but this is a very good way of looking at things. Look at all the seaweed there, and all these seed plant becomes, lives of the nourishment of them. These are the beach peas. This cabbage that grows in sand. Can you stop here 1 second? This one is another turning point of Noma, where I thought yet again that we're onto something. That we've been in our region we've been stupid for so many years we haven't even noticed what we had around us. It looks like chives. David Chang was there last year from Cookbook and he said it looks like grass. For me it's a perfect, you can see there, it's over there, it looks like a old grassy chive thing. And when I first saw it and you can also see all the seaweed, the black seaweed at the lid. When I first found this product here, I've never in my life heard about it before. I just thought that it looked delicious. As once you start going into nature, you start having an eye for what looks edible and what doesn't. You can even smell it on these very bitter greens and some flowers that they're not going to be good. This one looked like a succulent, really juicy, had a nice crack to it when you just snapped it. And I tasted it. It was many years ago, just 2 years after we opened Noma, or a year even. I tasted it, and it had a crunch. You were chewing, wonderful texture, and the salinity, of course, because it's right there on the sea. And then the flavor started coming into your mouth. Slowly, slowly, you found the flavor of coriander or cilantro. What do you call it in Canada? Coriander? And it's called sea arrowgrass. They have it in Maine as well, so I'm sure you have it here on the coast. You should know that once it's floured, it doesn't taste like coriander. But it was a pure flavor of coriander. And here I was thinking that coriander was a product belonging somewhere halfway across the world, and it was right in front of us. In fact, I grew up in that area all my life, right next to the coriander, not even knowing about it. And that was such a big, surprise and learning curve that things are out there to be discovered. There's much more than we know about. We just really have to reconnect with that type of cooking and that type of nature. And if we allow ourselves that, then there's discoveries, and as a chef you will see a product range that just grows year by year. And it's quite satisfying that you have so many things to